I'm Yashraj Narang from the NVIDIA Seattle Robotics Lab. Today, I'd like to present our work on interpreting tactile signals through a physics-based and data-driven framework. There are three major sensing modalities in robotics: proprioception, vision, and tactile sensing. Tactile sensing provides the most direct information about the object during contact. However, interpreting data from tactile sensors can be challenging. Two critical questions include: how does one accurately regress from raw tactile signals to low-dimensional tactile features, such as center of pressure and force vector? These features are frequently used in classical grasping and manipulation analysis. And how does one regress to high-density tactile fields, such as displacement and force fields on the sensor? These fields provide critical information when interacting with small, compliant, or delicate objects. In this work, we combine physics-based modeling with deep learning to address the previous questions for the state-of-the-art SynTouch BioTac sensor. Our contributions are a novel experimental dataset consisting of hundreds of precisely controlled interactions of multiple BioTac sensors with numerous objects. The first 3D finite element model of the BioTac, which can predict high-density tactile fields, and neural network mappings from raw tactile signals to experimentally measure tactile features, and, for the first time, tactile fields. To generate the experimental dataset, we designed an apparatus consisting of an ABB Yumi robot, 3D printed indenters representing shape primitives, and a mount that coupled a BioTac to a force torque sensor. To accurately measure contact location, we first developed a mechanical registration procedure inspired by CNC manufacturing. We attached an alignment pin to the end effector and inserted metal hole liners into the mount. We then guided the pin into 3 holes, computed a coordinate transformation between the robot and BioTac frames, and averaged results across multiple samples. A positional accuracy of 1 mm was achieved. We then proceeded with data collection. We randomly sampled numerous points on the receptive surface of the BioTac and indented the points along various trajectories. We recorded raw BioTac electrode signals, contact location, and 3D force vector. Overall, our dataset contains data from over 300 unique trajectories and 700 total trajectories, with over 30K data points after downsampling. In contrast to previous datasets, we performed robot-controlled indentations, evaluated multiple sensors and indenters, precisely measured contact location, and induced significant shear. Even with such experimental efforts, ground truth data on tactile fields is exceptionally difficult to acquire, motivating a finite element model. We constructed a model consisting of the BioTac skin, represented as a thick hyperelastic shell, the rigid core, the fluidic cavity, represented as a hydrostatic incompressible fluid, and an indenter. In each simulation, the fluid was first pressurized in order for the model to achieve real-world initial geometry. Next, the indenter was moved along every trajectory within the experimental dataset. For each indentation, net force was computed, and nodal displacements were sampled along the receptive surface of the BioTac. These displacements were used for subsequent learning and are also included as part of our dataset. In our model, there were a small number of free parameters. We optimized the parameters such that the model closely reproduced the experimental net force profile for one selected trajectory. We then evaluated our optimized model over all indenters and every trajectory. The model predicted experimental results with high accuracy and excellent generalizability. In summary, our finite element model provides an accurate, generalizable mechanical simulation of the BioTac that can predict high-density tactile fields such as displacement and force fields. Finally, we combined our dataset and finite element model with deep learning to learn useful tactile mappings. Given the structure of our BioTac electrode and tactile field data, we used PointNet++, a network architecture designed for point clouds. First, the network was trained to regress from BioTac electrode coordinates and values to contact location on the sensor. The trained networks achieved test accuracies similar to 2-point discrimination by the human fingertip, suggesting that they may be used for manipulation of small, finger-held objects. Next, the network was trained to regress to 3D force vector. Despite large force ranges and a much higher percentage of shear data than previous work, the networks achieved test accuracies within close range of the state-of-the-art. Finally, the networks were trained to perform the first regression to finite element predicted nodal displacement fields. Trained networks successfully predicted complex fields which were at times visually indistinguishable from target fields. These high-density estimates can be used to localize and predict fine geometric features of the object, facilitating manipulation. All CAD files, finite element models, and experimental and simulated data are available on our website. Future work will focus on performing grasping and manipulation tasks with our networks, as well as synthesizing raw tactile signals from the finite element model for training control policies in simulation. Thank you for watching.